No, Mark.
No, I was just gonna read this. This is. I'm gonna be on. It's gonna be on. Oh, it's gonna be on. Yeah. I'm trying to know that you do. I can't see. Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to order. To start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank everybody for coming tonight. Do we have public comment on the agenda items? Either?
Hello,
All
I'm Miley Staples from Canadensis. I just have a few sentences I'd like to read. Excuse me. My comment is regarding the sudden restructuring of the administrative and right to know offices, specifically items D, E, F, and G on tonight's agenda. On tonight's agenda, we have a retroactive ratification, excuse me, of Amanda Seagrave's hiring, accompanied by a sudden surge of resolutions regarding conflict of interest disclosures, an Ethics Act opinion letter, and an overhaul of our right to know policy. My question is, why are these oversight protocols being created after the personal changes were made? It appears to the community that these resolutions are a direct reaction to the intense scrutiny, public questions, and right to know filings brought forward by citizens. Why is this board treating transparency and ethical protocol as an afterthought and reactive damage control rather than standard operating procedure? Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
And there's one for each of you, one in red.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more public comments on the agenda item? Mark?
Attendance tonight?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Any more public comments on the agenda items?
Right. Should I talk now or when you bring it up? I'm used to being on Zoom, I apologize.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you want to have a public comment on an agenda item, I'd say you could have the comment now.
My name is Christina Esposito and I live on Route 390 in Barrett. So I spoke with Patty O'Keefe regarding Skywood Park. And I did not realize that the same day she'd be getting it put on the agenda for tonight. Regarding, they're asking for another 2,000 for more of the baskets. Okay, so my concern with that, they did a great job. Me and Carla did visit there yesterday. Looks great. The park looks great.
Okay.
There's already been a lot of money spent on that. But before putting out more money for something that's already there, they've already got 18 holes, 18 of the baskets. I think that the park commission and the supervisors need to look at public access to the park. Because our township owns and maintains that park along with Paradise, correct?
Yes.
It's not accessible to anyone that's disabled because they chose to lock the gates. Other than when I stopped by there yesterday, the gates were open. Cars were parked down the road for the disc golfers. And I did ask, Mike Reed, who I met there for the first time last night, how the gates got open. Because every time we've talked about opening the gates for people to get in, to access it, we're told that there's no staff. It turns out that the disc golf club, they have access, they have their own combination to get in. So they're letting themselves into the park. Yet somebody that's disabled, I have an ADA disability. I have to walk a quarter mile, and there's nothing saying that you have to have the parking lot close, but it has to be accessible. And the road leading into Skywood does not meet ADA guidelines for accessibility. There's more than a 5% grade. Now, I know I don't want to get into all that because it's going to carry over into Paradise and to the park meetings, but I've been in contact with the organizations regarding that. So before we say, okay, let's give them another $2,000, I think maybe our supervisors need to say, let's step back a minute and look at who's using the park.
Okay.
Okay, and that it's accessible to Barrett Township residents.
Thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. Mike? So I will say this is public comment. It's not the public debate. So you can make a comment towards it, but I don't want to start addressing people sideways in the room. It's a supervisors meeting, so it's just everything's directed towards us and it can't become a debate.
Right. So I'm Mike Reed. I'm at 286 Corners Road. I'm actually in Paradise Township, but I am on the park board. I also belong to the Skywood Disc Golf Club. The Skywood Disc Golf Park was never funded by Barrett. It was all funded by Paradise, including the maintenance. Paradise maintains that park 100%. Barrett does nothing there. So there is a little discrepancy in what's being said. I think any of the ADA questions and stuff probably should go through park. We have checked into it. It is 100% ADA compliant. Besides, there is no parking space, which we are gonna take care of. And we've also looked into making an ADA trail into that through park. So.
Thank you.
Just wanted to clear that up.
I appreciate that. Gonna make a motion to approve the June 10th, 2026 supervisors meeting minutes.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to approve the June 17th, 2026 supervisor workshop meeting minutes.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Bills, June 10th, 2026, general, 45,994.86, road, 37,726.19, LST, 755.23, state, 514.87, ambulance, 305.11, library, 916.48, park, 585.89. Make a motion to approve the June 10th, 2026 bills.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
June 17th, 2026, general, 62,986.69. Fire, 8,108.52. Open space, 168.41. I make a motion to approve the June 17th, 2026 bills.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. June 10th payroll, gross wages, 23,680.32. Federal tax liability, 1,751.80. State tax liability, 726.98. Net wages, 18,764.17. I make a motion to approve the June 10th, 2027 payroll. And June 17th, sorry.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Hazel?
Can I look at this?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, but if you need help.
I don't know if I can. Yes. You help me. Thanks. Yes, I'm not like okay, first, I'd like to thank the board for giving me the opportunity to address my concerns publicly. I requested a public discussion in the interest of transparency and to avoid misunderstandings or misinterpretations. I submitted a letter regarding the hiring of the elected Green Township Supervisor, Amanda Seegers, as the Barrett Township Administrator. I want to be clear that I understand it is legal for her to hold both positions, and that all final decisions affecting Barrett Township remain with the Board of Supervisors. I also want to acknowledge that I received a response from the board. However, the response did not explain the precautions, the safeguards that will be put in place to prevent overlapping duties, potential conflicts, or even the appearance of conflicts of interest. My questions are straightforward. Will there be a formal recusal policy? Who will review and approve the administrator's work? And how will the public be able to see these responsibilities are being handled transparently and in the best interest of Barrett Township? The administrator position at BARC plays an important role in supporting the board. Responsibilities can include many things like grant writing, purchasing bids, research preparation, and coordination with other municipalities and organizations. While performing these duties, the administrator represents Barrett Township, but at times those responsibilities can intersect with the responsibilities of serving as a supervisor in another township. I'm not questioning anyone's qualifications, abilities, or integrity. I'm simply asking for clear procedures, accountability, measures, and safeguards that will protect the township, maintain public confidence, and ensure transparency in government operations. Now, last week, I didn't get a chance to read the letter, so I'm guessing that.
Is that the same letter that you gave us last week,
No.
or that's a new letter?
No, this is just something that I wrote. That
Oh, okay,
like,
I was confused,
I
I'm like
wasn't
trying to
trying to
follow
reply.
along.
Okay, so last week I wrote a letter and, you needed time to get a response, and I did receive a response. And what happened with the response, the reason I asked for the public meeting was because I didn't hear about what procedures and precautions are being given, and I'm assuming that's what you're doing today.
Yeah.
So for light transparency, do you mind if you give me time to read this letter, and I'll cut out the examples and make it.
I'm fine if you're reading.
Okay, so I wrote, Board of Supervisors, after reviewing the administrative operation position as outlined in the employee handbook, I would like to have an open public discussion regarding the recent hiring of Amanda Seagrave. Although Ms. Seagrave will resign from the Green Township Secretary position, she will continue serving her role as Green Township Supervisor while also serving as the BARC Administrator. I understand that this arrangement may be legal, however, it appears that some of the duties associated with her employment position could potentially be conflict or create the appearance of conflict with her elected responsibilities. The appearance of the potential conflict relates to duties such as grant writing, which was added during February 18, 2026 meeting, along with responsibility outlined in 2024 employee handbook. Example, conducts research on municipal programs, ordinances, fee structures, etc. for use by supervisors in making decisions. Manages outside resources of renovations and repairs of buildings. Searches out and applies for other sources of funds such as loans, credits, discounts, etc. when appropriate. Purchase equipment and services assuring the major purchases are advertised, bid upon, awarded in accordance with the law. Now, the following are explicit duties performed by Ms. Seagrave as a Green Township Supervisor are as following. She discussed price caps on purchase of used trucks versus price of purchasing of new trucks. Chairwoman Seagrave explains we have 1988 Peterbilt truck that is hard to find parts for and needs new plow frame. We have been bidding on municipal for used trucks, but they are selling for more than our maximum bid. We looked at new trucks as a Pennsylvania State Association of Township Supervisors conference last month. Supervisor Wittenberg also priced out a new truck, which is approximately $200,000. Solicitor Tree advised reaching out to other municipalities with high revenue who replace equipment more frequently to see if they were selling vehicles in the future. So I'm going to cut that part short after this. And the reason that I have written these examples and why I wanted the public discussion was those were the things that I was looking at that were concerning. I know that our administrator will be looking at researching bids for supplies, possibly truck parts. And what I'm looking for is what safeguards are you going to put in place that when she's researching for bids and grants and so on, that they're not being done also at the same time simultaneously for Green Township.
Right.
Now, a lot of people in Green Township don't realize that supervisors and township secretaries work together. So there isn't an administrator like Bark has, who does all the research and does everything that you guys look at and then basically decide what you're gonna bid on or keep or not.
Right.
So I did have other examples, but I know that you read them all, and I understand that you have safeguards now put in place.
Well, yeah, that's later in the agenda.
Okay, so I guess we'll wait, and I guess if I have public comment at the end of the agenda to question those items would be better, or,
Yeah, we could talk about them as they're going on for sure.
okay, thank
Yep,
you.
definitely. I also want to mention anything that we talk about and is in this packet and that I'm reading from, is publicly available. If you want a copy of it, I'll make copies at the end. I'll stay here till whenever, we're done. So, there's nothing in here that we, are protecting or safeguarding. So we did reply to Ms. Gifford's letter, and first and foremost, I want to say that the number one safeguard is this Board of Supervisors. We have to vote in motion and approve everything. So although it looks like Amanda is running the office, she cannot act solely on her own. She answers for the Board of Supervisors, and that's why we have these meetings and vote. So we wrote a letter back to Mrs. Gifford, June 9th that said, thank you for your letter. I'm sorry, your letter was June 9th. We were 2 days later. So, thank you for your letter regarding the appointment of Amanda Seagraves as Barrett Township's Operation Administrator, while continuing to serve as an elected supervisor in Green Township. We appreciate your interest in ensuring transparency and maintaining public confidence in the township operations. We reviewed the concern raised in your correspondence. Based on the information currently known to the board is not aware of any actual conflicts of interest arising from Mrs. Seagraves' employment with Barrett Township. While your letter notes that some duties of operation administrator includes research and municipal programs, coordinating projects, seeking grant opportunities, and assisting with purchasing process, these activities are common administrative functions performed throughout local governments. Importantly, Mrs. Seagraves is not an elected official of Barrett Township. She does not vote on Barrett Township matters, establish township policies, approve contracts, award bids, or exercise the legislative authority reserved exclusively for the Barrett Township Board of Supervisors. Her role as operations administrator is administrative and advisory in nature, while all final decisions remain with the board. Likewise, her elected position in Green Township does not grant her authority over Barrett Township affairs. The facts that similar municipality issues such as equipment purchasing, road projects, grant budgeting, or vendor procurement are discussed in both municipalities does not by itself create a conflict of interest. Municipal officials, employees throughout Pennsylvania routinely attend PSATS training, communicate with PennDOT, research best practices, review ordinances from neighboring municipalities, and evaluate vendor and equipment. These activities are a part of effective local government administration, are not exclusively to any township. Furthermore, Pennsylvania Ethics Act generally focuses on situations where an individual may use public office for private pecuniary, no boy, I'm struggling on that, pecuniary gain, or where personnel finance interests improperly influence of official actions. The board is not aware of any financial interest or any other circumstances that would create an actual conflict of interest with respects to Mrs. Seagraves' employment by Barrett Township. Additionally, Pennsylvania law has long recognized that individuals may simultaneously serve in elected offices in one municipality while being employed by another municipality, provided the positions are legally compatible and no prohibited conflicts of interest exist. The board is not aware of any statute that prohibits a Green Township supervisor from serving as Barrett Township Operations Administrator. Nevertheless, Barrett Township recognizes the importance of avoiding not only actual conflicts, but also the appearance of a conflict whenever possible. If a matter arises involving both Barrett Township and Green Township or otherwise presents a potential conflict of interest, The matter will be reviewed and handled in accordance with applicable law and township policy. The board will continue to exercise oversight of duties performed by the operations administrator, including purchasing activities, grant applications, project coordination, and contractual matters to ensure compliance with all legal requirements. We appreciate your concerns and your continued engagement in township affairs. Transparency, accountability remain priorities of the board, and we welcome public discussion of township operations during appropriate public meetings. Thank you. Park funding request, disc golf basket at Skywood Park. Patty, you're the liaison, and you mentioned to put that on the agenda.
Yes, so there's been a lot of activity with the golf disc group. They've contributed a lot of money toward, and work putting in the baskets and getting them organized. And they've requested putting in additional baskets that would have, as I understand it, a different level of difficulty and give a variety to what's going on there. And so the park committee is asking for the township to fund $2,000 toward the cost of this, which is not half of the amount that it would cost, but Paradise Township is picking up the majority of the cost. As Mike mentioned, they do the maintenance and things like that at the park. And so we're asking for $2,000.
So when you asked to put this on the agenda, you didn't send over any data with it. What's the total cost of the project?
I think it's around 8,000, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, the
Okay.
meeting minutes were online, and I believe it did say 8,000.
Okay,
And it discussed the golf club helping to put them in with, I believe, with the maintenance department, Mike.
Yeah, it's $8,000 is the cost of the materials.
okay.
The labor and everything's being picked up by Paradise Township.
Okay,
And is that changing the footprint? I just want to make sure I understood what I
No,
read.
it's not adding an additional 18 holes, it's just adding an additional 18 baskets to the holes we have. It gives a secondary shot on the holes that are there.
so it's tough because I'm asking you, but it seems like you're the Paradise liaison, and I know you
He's
know
on
some
the
stuff.
park, Mike is on the park committee.
So, as mentioned earlier,
Can I ask you a question?
can I finish? I
Does
just-
the supervisor that sits on the park committee to represent our township
Yeah,
down, so any.
I think Charlene Berry sits on it
So
also.
we're all trying to work together?
So I did have another question I wanted to finish. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off, but it doesn't have to be. So when you mentioned that it was open and you guys had an event, what if a Barrett Township group wanted to have an event there? Do we have a key? Do we have access?
You guys should have, I mean, you guys are part of the park.
So we have
Your name
this-
is on it. You should have, we have a combination lock for us,
Okay,
for Paradise and Barrett.
right. So
Somebody should have the
So,
combination.
okay, but if we wanted to have our own disc golf events, we could utilize this. There, I'm not familiar with it, I'm just making sure that our township has the same use of it as you guys.
Right, so
Okay.
the only reason why disc golf has their own lock on there for the events for our leagues. Is because of the park,
Mhm.
which is another separate issue.
You'd be out on the road if you
There's
didn't
not,
open
yeah,
the gate.
there's enough parking for maybe 10 cars out in the parking spaces that are there. We had 30 people last night.
Yeah,
As, you know, the picture that Christine sent to Patty showed, the cars were lined, and we don't use the whole, we don't go up into the whole parking area. We cut it off, halfways, put cones up, put a sign there, and then we just park down along the side to the gate.
yeah, definitely.
So we're not driving up in for walking purposes, we're driving in for parking purposes.
So I do have another question with the Cape, because I wasn't here when it was agreed to close and open. How come it's not open during like the day? Like our parks are open dusk till dawn or, you know,
We
Dog
haven't
advice.
came up with a solution, a good solution. to have those gates open during the day.
Okay,
It was requested by the neighboring people, the houses, that the park become closed, the
Right.
gate become closed, so people couldn't drive back there at night and stuff. Cause there was a lot of stuff going on back there at times.
It's going to dusk.
yeah, I said it backwards. I said it backwards, I'm sorry, I said passed it off. Closed.
When the gate is open, there's nobody patrolling that, there's free access to go in.
There's free access to all public.
Not to defend it
And I
itself,
understand.
this
and I
is closed.
Hang on, guys, I hate to do this, let's not do the, in the crowd comments, you guys talk to us, and then we talk to you guys, it's not a sideways conversation, so.
If you wanna talk, you really need to come up and talk so that everybody can.
So I don't remember who was talking, I just heard talking start, so,
You asked about why the gate was closed.
yeah,
What the access. So we did the numbers on what it would cost, like if we were to open it early in the morning and close it late at night, it's all overtime for any of us that
Yeah.
are working to do it.
definitely
The
understand
cost
that.
of that is a lot.
Yeah.
So we just decided it stays closed.
And
Um,
the park committee has also opened the gates for other groups. There was a group of painters that wanted to go in and be able to paint the skyline and Delaware Water Gap. And there was no problem. They were
So can I?
given access. The majority of the time when it's locked is because of the fact that people were going in there at night and it was getting vandalized and trashed and all kinds of things.
Okay, two questions. First, are there police reports that were made for the vandalism and for neighbors that had a problem with it? And the second one is, I understand that you can't pay overtime for our workers or dirt workers to go shut it at dusk at 7:30. But can there be a compromise where somebody goes during business hours, township business hours, just like our maintenance people, open the gate when they come in for the day, close it before they leave?
I think that's something that needs to be discussed by the park board.
Yeah, it's something that we can discuss. And just to be clear, the park committee is made up of Barrett Township residents and Paradise. And it's an open meeting. It's at 6 o'clock tomorrow night over at the Paradise Municipal Building. If anybody comes up with questions later and says, oh, I should have asked that, we will be there.
Yes, sir,
Just,
what's your name real quick?
my name is Zach.
Okay,
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify with the gate when it comes to our club, we didn't request the gate to be closed, we're fine.
and you're the disc golf club?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, whether it's open or closed, we can operate the same, it's just the parking like Mike had mentioned. But it wasn't our request for it to be closed initially, so.
It was decided beforehand.
Before the park was, the disc golf was even put in the park, that discussion for the gate to be closed happened before us.
thank you.
And I'm only mentioning that just because it seems like it's two separate.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
Yeah, and then
I'm sorry, Jen had her hand up next, I believe. Peter?
Patty, you're on the park board, are you the chair or?
Yes, Charlene Berry and I.
Can you explain the dynamics a little bit of the park committee, like, Skywood Park, you had said that, you had just said previously that Barrett maintains and helps maintain the park, and then Mike Reed said, no, you don't. Paris takes care of it.
Okay, well,
So if I could just.
okay, go ahead.
So I'm trying to figure out, I know Seven Pines Park was always a collaboration between Barrett and Paradise. How is Skyward different
Okay.
than what Seven Pines is? And cause wondering why we're spending $2,000 on Skyward Park if it sounds like we don't have too much to do with it, and we don't
Okay.
even know how to get in it, or do we have a key or a combination?
So when the first open space project came about, back in the 90s, there were 3 properties that were bought at the same time as part of a regional open space plan. One was Ice Lake, which was supposed to be left natural. One was Seven Pines, which was already flat and was gonna be used for active recreation, and especially the, baseball, Little League was really interested in doing something there. And then the third parcel was Skywood. And so originally it was Paradise, Barrett, and Mount Pocono were the three municipalities that were on what we called the PARC, Park Committee, that would try to get grants, get money for doing things and maintain these parks. So over the years, Mount Pocono decided that their people were really not coming down off the mountain and going to any of these parks. So they didn't want to have anything to do with paying to maintain them. So they left, and Barrett and Paradise got a new deed that said that we were the ones that were overseeing what was done. The Little League teams put in a lot of money to get the scoreboards and the fencing and backstops and all that stuff that goes with baseball. And Ice Lake was left natural, and just the trails were maintained. And most of the time, it's the Barrett Township road crew and maintenance crew that does things. If a tree goes down there, or when we got the fish in the lake, they put up a thing so the fish couldn't swim downstream and leave us. And Paradise took on doing a lot of the mowing and making sure that things were maintained over at the Skywood Park. And I'm not quite sure exactly who does Seven Pines. Mike?
Paradise takes care of Seven Pines. And we've also funded, like the pickleball courts that are going in, we're funding $100,000 to that, and no contribution to Barrett.
Yeah, so what the park committee does is kind of see what could be done to make the parks better. A few years ago, we did some programs like selling the fruit pies to make money, and Benji Labar was real active with doing a haunted hayride or haunted walk through the woods. And we don't have a lot of volunteers. We have had some over the years that help us with doing projects, but you know, we pay the insurance and we make sure the porta potties are there, and I'm not sure.
Township residents have the same access to all three of those parks as.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes,
You
all
don't-
three.
You don't, I wanna, just heard, we don't even have the combination on how to get in the gate. Does anybody up there know how to get in the gate?
That's news, I think, when I told somebody that Barrett's name was on the sign, and Grant, weren't you surprised to hear that?
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know what you mean by the sign.
It's on the sign.
Oh, yeah, you said that our number was on the sign.
Paradise in one.
Yeah, and like I know the kids from Evergreen went and played disc golf, and they're the only ones that I really know that play. I don't know how to play disc golf, but it's apparently very popular, and the group that has organized things gets a lot.
I certainly don't wanna cause any debates or.
What's your name?
I drove, on the way here, Justin,
Okay,
I stopped on Skywood on the way to check the lost and found box on the way here, there was 4 other cars there, the gate is closed, it is still very much open to everybody to play. I go there frequently, I don't open the gate to do that, it's only on we have spillover from the parking lot. Anybody can go there right now, park and play there, I understand the concern with the walking and the distance for people that might have disability, we're all for moving the gate, making it easier for everybody to play. But the gate is not keeping anyone out from playing disc golf, there's
And I don't
multiple
want
people,
anybody
right?
got it.
I understand.
Great last night, I got to talk to you, I have nothing
Oh,
against
I
that.
get it, I just want everybody to.
So-
There was not an overflow into that road though.
So
I was there.
No,
for
no,
five
it's well, we could not park in that lot without it being,
Right,
without the gate
right.
being open,
And that's
however.
fine, I have no problem.
so what I'm hearing here is the problem isn't the disc golf, it's not this $2,000 that's funded from our park money. The problem is the general operation of Barrett being involved in parks. So I think what we need to do is up our liaison, up our communication, and maybe up our involvement with with these parks, so then that way we could feel like we're included, but at the end of the day, they're public parks. It's not just for Paradise Township, it's not just for Barrett Township people, it's for everybody.
I
Yeah.
don't
everybody.
think
Yeah.
any of the golfers would say, get out, that's not the issue that
And-
I had.
I'm probably remiss in that I haven't given a park report every month.
Yeah.
After our meetings, I will make sure that you get the minutes.
Cause what I understand is this was already voted on, it was already approved, and now we're coming in hindsight, so it does feel a little bit behind.
We,
Well, Patty, do you know anything about the pickleball courts going in? This gentleman just said they're putting.
Pickleball courts in.
Do you know anything about it?
so
Thousand and eight.
Right,
we've
so-
been,
Something for pickleball courts.
we've
Barrett
been,
Township's not supposed to be contributing to that. According to the meeting minutes, correct? That's gonna be funded entirely by Paradise.
That's what Mike just said.
I'm not sure what the question is.
Well, my question was, do you know anything about the pickleball courts going in? That's what I'm
Okay.
asking. You sit on the
So-
board, so I wanna know if they got in touch with you to tell you what the progress was of what they're doing there, because we never received a letter or anything about pickleball courts going in over there.
Okay, so we've been talking about it for several years and, we just got engineering information, I guess, about putting in pickleball courts. And it was something that was discussed. I'm not sure if it made it in the minutes, but we've been talking about this for a
When you say
while.
it was discussed at a park meeting, not in Barrett Township meetings, workshops or anything.
I don't think it made it into the minutes. I think that I told the members of the board that we were looking into pickleball courts. When we first started doing the pickleball courts on the inside, in the where the basketball is in the gym, we were talking about putting in pickleball courts, and it was discussed as to where they could go. There were a lot of people coming here and wanting to know where we could put them in. But since the Bark property doesn't have a master site plan, we were looking at maybe doing it over at Seven Pines. And that flat area that at one point was going to be a baseball field, but then the Little League didn't think that they would get the number of people coming at that age group that needed that size field, so pickleball was discussed.
Mark,
I think you gotta open up that gate.
thank you. Mike? Yeah, it's a question of accessibility.
I go to high acres at 2 o'clock in the morning, I mean. I do believe.
Okay, June first.
I do believe-
Sorry.
I do believe that, I've only been on the park board since January of
Yeah.
last year. But I've been trying to follow everything since I've been working at Paradise for the last 8 years. And I started as a laborer there and I took care of Seven Pines and Skywood mowing and all that. So I was a big active part of those two parts. I've looked at the site plan for those from back when those parks were built. And there were different stages.
Yeah,
And I believe that pickleball courts were an option on there, as part of a second or third stage. But they were gonna be behind where the playground is.
yeah.
And they got moved over to the big field, which was supposed to be a baseball field, then a multi-purpose field.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna.
So I think, what we're really questioning, and again, 3 of us are new this year, 2 or whatever, and I think what the public's questioning is the Barrett Township Paradise relationship. I don't think it's necessarily what happened or did happen, but it's like, how come these baskets were approved at a park meeting and you guys' meeting, and now we're just hearing about it? How come pickleball was approved, but like, we were never, you say, oh, Paradise is doing it all on their own and it's a shared property, we're on the deed, shouldn't we have been included in that more than just our park representation?
When I brought up the disc golf baskets,
Mhm.
it was I asked Park to pay for it.
Yeah.
And that's what, we were going all through Park to do this.
Right.
We started looking at finances and everything and decided, you know, maybe we need some help. We were gonna ask Barrett and, Paradise to contribute
When did that start? When did that conversation start that we were gonna ask Barrett Township?
2 months ago.
Just,
Okay,
yeah, just like,
he said 2 months ago.
okay,
yeah.
2 months.
And then, last meeting, this last meeting was when Paradise got asked about, doing the labor
Okay,
for it. And then, and actually, this probably should have been on the agenda the last meeting for Barrett too, but it ended up getting pushed to this meeting.
mhm.
So the time span, it wasn't a long time span, and it was, you know, just a, you know, like I said, it's been 2 months probably.
So I think that.
We've been discussing.
Right, so and I think in fairness to, one, having 3 new board members, it being thrown at us. And I think that this is bigger than a disc golf or a pickleball situation. I reached out to Peter Gantz, and he's on vacation in Maine. I really think that we need to reevaluate our relationship and our correspondence between Paradise and Barrett and how it's funded. And I know you say Barrett does nothing with it, but I just signed a check for Park, so it might be small, but we are a part of something. So I'm gonna make a motion to table this until I could talk to Peter Gantz, and the 3 board members here could be brought up to speed with that relationship. And we can move forward at another time once we understand that. But I
I'll
made a
second the
motion.
motion.
All right, discussion.
After discussion?
No, right now.
Motion,
Oh,
second.
He seconded it, now we're open for discussion.
Thank you. Paradise gets over $1 million from the casino. Am I right or wrong on that?
Yeah.
Yes? Oh, almost 1.5 million, 1.5. So Barrett, we're a shit show for money. It's not a secret. We're in really bad shape here. And I'm wondering, the tournament, this is a great group of guys. We watched them last night. They're awesome. They're fun. They have a great time. Very friendly. When you have tournaments and you charge for the tournaments, can that money go to something?
So again, I don't want the questions to go to them. I think that money definitely can go for something. We do have a part, hey, guys, hey, yo. I think the conversation needs to keep going this way, not that way. So I don't think it's really a matter of funding, it's understanding the relationship, because we also have a fund that was voted on and our taxpayers decided to put a millage in for projects like this. I think the problem is the understanding of the relationship. Barrett being more involved from the start, not hey, we approved this at Park, we approved this at Paradise, can we have some money? It has nothing to do with the money, it has to do with the relationship, the working relationship, and I think we could build that and we could have a great relationship and we could be more involved and more valuable and we could be more of a team, not Barrett doesn't do anything and this is what we're doing. I think it needs to be a joint effort, and I reached out to Peter and I think we will get there. Preston.
I don't think it's the gate. I think it's the lack of parking up top. If you get rid of the gate and make a bigger parking and block it off with rocks, I think that would satisfy everybody. If you had 50 spots.
Understood, and I think that's what was mentioned, you know, possibly moving the gate farther back, stuff like that. So I have a
Motion, second.
I know that you guys said you were all newer over the last couple of years or whatever that is.
this year.
This year. Just for the record, when we did the disc golf thing, I think this is now our 4th season. We did come to Barrett, we went to a meeting, we explained everything, got everybody on board. So it wasn't like you guys didn't.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I said, kind of, I'm asking for a little bit of time, because 60% of the board is new on January, and these 2 guys are
We've
after,
been
so.
very fortunate there with the expanding, and it's been awesome, and it just seemed like a good time, and they brought it to Paradise, and now here we are. So
Yeah, and I think that it could be a great thing moving forward, I'm just asking for a little bit more time.
Appreciate it.
So I have a second, we have discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Next is Edward J. Clark Jr., Christine G. Clark, lot combination review acceptance. Did we check this for completion?
If we were going to have Sean provide a review.
Okay.
He was.
It hasn't had it.
Right.
I assume that's why you're here, Mr. Martin?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Glad to explain it to you.
okay, yeah, that would be
It's
great.
it's three parcels of land that adjoin each other at the corner of Spruce Cabin, Cherry Lane. They're owned by Edward and Christine Clark. It has an existing dwelling, a couple sheds on it. They're assessed separately now, they want to join them together so that they only get one assessment. And the plan is they want to build a garage to house their travel trailer.
Okay,
And I think Mr. Clark had spoke to the zoning officer. And there were some issues with setbacks and possibly an accessory use without principal use on that parcel that he was going to do it. So to eliminate all of those zoning issues, they're going to join all the parcels together.
right,
We prepared it in accordance with your lot combination section in your saldo. And we also submitted it to the Monroe County Planning Commission for review and comment.
great,
Basically a simple one.
yeah, for sure.
I talked to Deanna. I guess she's still doing some things for you in the.
Yeah, she's picking up the slack and,
She did say she thought she would have time to do a review on it for your
Great.
next meeting, so.
so I'm gonna make a motion that we accept this for review.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
So, right to know request tracker publication, what I'm asking for is the board's permission to post our public tracker on our website. So I would like to make a motion to post our right to know request tracker on our website.
I'll second the motion.
Discussion? All in favor?
Purpose.
I'm sorry.
What's the intended purpose?
The intended purpose is transparency.
So this would be a listing of all the right to knows that we've received.
Request applications
The
in
request.
in a spreadsheet form, yes.
Okay.
Great. Does that list who asks for it? I'm sorry.
Yes,
It does, okay. Thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2026-062426. So this is a resolution, that's putting in safeguards, that Hazel had talked about, for the Board of Supervisors of Barrett Township, Monroe County. This resolution applies to the township's operations administration during any period in which, currently holds elected or appointed office in another municipality. The position is an administrative employment position and not a statutory township office. The resolution governs the conduct as a Barrett Township employee, and it supplements and does not replace the duties imposed on her by the public office. So this has a mandatory recusal of cross municipal matters. That's for contracts, procurements, grant reimbursement requests, funding applications, funding awarded which other municipalities is participating applicant, beneficiary for competitor or contracting party. It has the solicitor's determination. If the administrator is unsure whether recusal is required, she refers the matter to the township solicitor before acting. She may not participate in the matter until the solicitor issues a written determination. Written disclosure and intake screening. When a matter requires recusal arises, administrator promptly notifies the township secretary and the board in writing. Confidential information firewall, the administrator may not keep Barrett Township files, bid materials, grant materials, executive session materials or procurement records on any device, account, storage system used for the business of the municipality. Township records obtained through Barrett Township employment may not be transferred, copied, forwarded, discussed, or disclosed to any official employment consultant or representative of the other municipality except as authorized by law. Duty to report change circumstance, the administrator promptly notifies the board and the township solicitor in writing. The other municipality enters into a contract grant procurement cooperative relationship with Barrett Township. She acquires additional duties in other municipalities involving grants, contracting, budgeting, personal matters, any circumstance arise that could reasonably create an actual or potential conflict. Board art oversight, even when no actual conflict exists, the board may direct administrator to recuse if the board decides that recusal is needed to protect public confidence in township decision. Statement of financial interest, the administrator completes all filings, the public official employment ethics acts on the form the State Ethics Commission prescribes. This includes an annual financial statement filed with Barrett Township as a public employee and a separate statement of financial interest filed for her elected office. The township secretary confirms each year that the Barrett Township filing is on record. Annual certification on or before January 31st of each year. The administrator submits a written certification to the board acknowledging receipt of this resolution and certifying her compliance with it during the preceding calendar year. Annual review and change of circumstance. The board reviews this protocol at least once each year and whenever the relationship between the two municipalities change, if the two municipalities begin to contract, share services, or otherwise deal with each other, the township solicitor reviews the arrangement and recommends any additional safeguards before the administrator participates in the matter. Nothing in this resolution limits the authority of the board to amend or modify this protocol in the future. Enforcement, failure to comply with this resolution may be grounds for disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment subject to applicable law and township personnel policies. Ratification and interim directives. The board ratifies the interim directives issued June 15th, 2026, and actions taken under it from that date until resolution takes effect. This resolution supersedes the interim directive going forward. Severability, if a court or computing jurisdiction determines that any provision of this resolution is invalid, the remaining provisions will remain in full force and effect. Effective date, this resolution takes effect immediately upon adoption. I make a motion to accept the resolution 2026-0624-26.
Can I ask you something before you?
As soon as I get my second, you can ask it, if I get a second.
I'll second.
Discussion.
So if there's an incident where there has to be a recusal, will be announced at a public meeting? Will we know that it occurred?
I definitely believe that it'll be public knowledge.
Is there a reason we can't hire anybody from Barrett? Anything? Everybody seems to be coming from somewhere else.
Okay.
We're dumb.
No, I hired the most we hired the most experienced person.
Are there other applicants?
Yes.
He asked if there were more applicants and he said yes.
Any other discussion? Discussion from the board? All in favor?
Aye.
Opinion letter, section 1109G of the Ethics Act. So this is an opinion letter from our solicitor, Todd Weitzman, about the non-competing position. So Green Township Supervisor and our Operations Administrator. So we asked for an opinion. So the summary, The concurrent service is permitted under Pennsylvania law. The township may employ Ms. Seagraves in this position while she holds her Green Township office. As long as the township adopts the following, the recusal and disclosure protocol in the accompanying resolution, no part of the Ethics Act, the court may rule on hold two public offices, or the second-class township code prohibits this arrangement on facts presented. To confirm and protect the arrangement, I recommended two steps. Adopt the protocol of public meeting and read this opinion into the meeting minutes. Facts on which this opinion depends. I have relied on the following facts. If any of them is inaccurate or complete, this opinion may not apply. The operations administrator position is an administrative employment position. It is not the office of township secretary, township treasurer, or any other statutory township office. The board hires Ms. Seagraves by motion made, seconded, and approved by the vote of the supervisors at a public meeting held on May 27, 2026, with a start date of June 15. Ms. Seagraves holds elected office as chair of the Board of Supervisors in Green Township, Pike County. That is a separate municipality and a separate county. Barrett Township and Green Township do not supervise, audit, remove, contract with, or share governing authority with one another. The board has reviewed available information and is unaware of any shared engineering firms, solicitors, auditors, grant consulting, purchasing, cooperative, council of governments, emergency service, or mutual aid agreement, intergovernmental agreement, joint PennDOT projects, or regional initiative between the two municipalities. The board is also unaware of any pending matter in which the two municipalities are adverse parties, negotiating parties, contracting parties, grant competitors, or participants in the same procurement. Based on the board's representation, no supervisor is a member of Ms. Seagraves' immediate family, and no supervisor is in business with her. The Ethics Act does not bar the arrangement. The Ethics Act does not prohibit a person from holding two public positions at the same time. It prohibits a conflict of interest. The Act defines a conflict of interest as the use of the authority of office or employment for the private financial benefit of the official or employee, a member of her immediate family, or a business she is associated with. That's 65 PA CS 11021103A. The violation turns on the use of authority, not on the simple fact of dual service. The act also recognizes that many local officials are citizens, officials who bring their occupation and professions to public service, and that they should not be discouraged from keeping those community ties. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court has explained that use means an affirmation act that puts the office to work for a private benefit. Civic versus State Ethics Committee 238A3D 1250 PA 2020. And then Kistler versus State Ethics Committee 22A3D 223 PA 2011. Earning a lawful salary for work performed is not such an act, even when another governmental body sets the pay. In the Civic versus Court held that a supervisor's routine approval of payroll for a group that included his son was not a conflict, because that act was administrative and applied equally to the group. It followed Crane versus State Ethics Committee 8058-2D 677 PA Commonwealth 2002, where a controller approved of payments to a spouse who was entitled to them at a rate set by others was not a prohibited use of office. Next time Todd writes this, he's reading it. The salary Ms. Seagrave earns from Barrett Township is set by the board, not by her green office. It is paid for work. It is not a benefit she gets by using her green authority. The act's reference to a business with which she is associated does not change this. The act defines business as a corporation, partnership, association, organization, and similar private entity. It's separated defines government body and political subdivision. and the latter expressly includes a township. 65 PA CS 1102. A township is a governmental body and a political subdivision, not a business. Even under the broad reading of the Supreme Court has given that term. See Rendell versus PA State Ethics 983A2D 708 PA 209. Reading business to include nonprofit entities for Barrett Township employment does not make Barrett a business associated with her green office. Her green seat does not make Green a business associated with Barrett work. What the act does require is care on the public matters where the two municipalities' interests could meet. If a Barrett matter ever affects Green financial or governmental interest, and Ms. Seagraves takes part by using her authority, that participation could be a conflict. This is a recusal question. The protocol addressed it. It is not a reason to forbid the employment. Confidential information and the scope of recusal. The definition of a conflict of interest reaches more than financial benefit. It also reaches that the use of confidential information received through public office or employment, 65 PA CS 1102. The protocol addresses this directly. Ms. Seagraves may not disclose, use, or rely on confidential information acquired through her position for the benefit of the other municipalities. Any matter involving non-public procurement or bid information, vendor or contractor pricing, negotiations, personal matter, litigation strategies, grant strategy, or land acquisition must be held under the recusal protocol. This protects the confidential information interest. The act guards not only the financial benefit and interest. The protocol defines the matter that requires recusal rather than leaving the standard case by case judgment. Recusal applies among other things to contracts involving common vendors, competing grant applicants, intergovernmental agreement, shared service discussion, litigation involving either municipality, land acquisitions affecting both municipalities, regional planning initiatives, and any matter in which one municipality could gain an economic advantage from information obtained from others, defining the category and advanced protocols that make easier to apply and easier to enforce. The court-made rule on holding two offices does not bar the arrangement. A court-made rule called the doctrine of incompatible offices can stop one person from holding two public offices at once. It does not bar this arrangement. The rule applies to two public offices. The operations administrator position is employment, not a public office. So the rule does not apply. Reach it, even if both positions were offices, they would not be incompatible because the two municipalities sit in separate counties. Neither one supervises, audits, or removes other Pennsylvania law. Also limits the role of courts in declaring offices incompatible where the General Assembly has not acted. Commonwealth, Fox versus Swing, 186 A2D 24, PA 1962, decided under predecessor provision, now PA constitute ARTVI 2, where the current scope of the doctrine, it does not prohibit the arrangement presented here. The conclusions rest most firmly on the point that Barrett position is employment, not office. The second-class township code authorizes employment. The board employs the person needed to conduct township business, set their pay. The board did so here by full board vote at a public meeting, May 27, 2026. No part of the code prohibits a township from employing a person who holds elected office in a different township. The code addresses a supervisor's relationship to her own township, not outside employment by another municipality. The hiring vote was not a conflict of interest. The current concerns has been raised that the chairman participation in the hiring was improper because Ms. Seagraves is described as a personal acquaintance on the fact presented. That concern does not state a violation. The Ethics Act does not prohibit a public body from selecting a qualified candidate who is personally known to a supervisor. The question is whether a supervisor used the authority of office to secure a private financial benefit for himself or herself a member of his immediate family or a business he is associated with, 65 PACS 1103A. A personal friend or acquaintance is none of those here. The board set the pay by its own motion. The candidate did not negotiate it, and the board approved the hiring by unanimous vote at a public meeting, May 27, 2026. Based on the board's representation that no supervisor is a member of Miss Graves' immediate family and that no supervisor is in business with her, the hiring vote was not a conflict of interest. I recommend that the board confirm that representation on record. This, what's that? You could go ahead. Yeah, I need a drink. I appreciate that.
We only got 92 more pages, so. Public comment allegations. This opinion takes no position on any allegation about the conduct of public comment at any prior meeting. Those allegations are a separate matter. They do not affect the legal analysis of the employment relationship addressed here. Conditions on which this opinion depends. This opinion depends on the township taking the following steps. Number one, adopting the following: the recusal and disclosure protocol and the accompanying resolutions. Number two, Ms. Seagrave recusing herself in her Barrett role from any matter that affects or could reasonably appear to affect Green Township's interest. In her green role, she must abstain and disclose under 65 PACS 1103 when a Barrett matter comes before the Green Board. Green, Ms. Seagrave filing her statement of financial interest with Barrett Township as a public employee and with Green Township for her elected office under 65 PACS 1104. Scope and limits of this opinion. Under section 1109G, a public official of the township who acts in good faith relies on this written non-confidential opinion or on this opinion stated as an open meeting and recorded in the minutes is not subject to the penalties in section 1109A and B or to the damage in section 1109. Section 1109C separately provides that tribal damages are not assessed against a person who acted in good faith, reliance on the advice of legal counsel. This protection covers the supervisors. It does not apply where an opinion is given under duress or where the parties allude to commit a violation. Neither is present here. The protection is also does not cover future conduct that differs internally from the facts stated in this opinion. I want to be clear about this opinion. Section 1109 protects the township's public officials, the supervisors who rely on Mrs. Seagraves, holds her Barrett position as an employee, not as a township official. So this opinion does not give her the same statutory shield. Her protection is more basic. If she follows the protocol, she does not use her authority for a prohibited benefit, so no violation occurs in the first place. For her separate conduct as a Green Township official, she may, if she wishes, obtain a written opinion from the Green Township solicitor under section 1109G to cover her green side decisions. That step is hers to take. It is not required for this board to act. Finally, good faith is measured against the law, a competent legal analyst. A demand letter that asserts a violation does not by itself defeat good faith reliance on this opinion. Finding. Based on the facts stated here, I find no present violation of the Public Official and Employee Ethics Act arising solely from Ms. Seagrave's service as Barrett Township Operations Administrator and Green Township Supervisor. Any further conflict must be judged on the specific facts presented at that time. For these reasons, in my opinion, Barrett Township may lawfully employ Ms. Seagraves as Operations Administrator while she serves as Supervisor of Green Township, as long as the township adopts and follows the recusal and disclosure protocol and takes the steps described above. I recommend that the board adopt the accompanying resolution at a public meeting and that this opinion may be read and recorded in the minutes. Please let me know if the board wishes to discuss any part of this opinion. Todd Weitzman.
Thank you. So that was just an opinion letter. We're not voting on anything and we're not motioning anything. So the next is,
That was written under Todd Weitzman's opinion. not the Pennsylvania State Board of Ethics.
In fact, that was Todd Weitzman's.
So has he considered to get it from the Pennsylvania State Board of Ethics, so it's just,
We did consider it and the state ethics won't give an opinion, at this time.
okay. So you look,
When you did go on these sets.
Yeah, we did talk to PSATs and, they confirmed that there's no conflict.
well, no, I was talking about Pennsylvania Board of Ethics.
No, I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about,
that's-
and they won't offer an opinion on this situation. Peter,
So you conferred with your attorney, you conferred with the PSAS, and there's no conflict of interest. but
there is no
we have to
conflict.
go through all this stuff over here. I mean, I just think that this is a little bit crazy, all of this. Because then you could say you have the same conflict of interest with your solicitor that solicits for another township. An engineer that's here and solicits and goes to another town. Your code enforcement officer that's here and works for another township.
Yeah,
There could be conflict of interest all over.
correct.
Just my statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Any other comments? Mary?
I just wanna say, I think that this is probably overkill considering we had Pam, who held the position on the board and was the operations director. And we should honestly be thankful that anyone was willing to come in here and apply for this. And, you know, we did have people apply from this township. I applied for it. I didn't get it, and that's okay. But I think we should give her a chance before we're already like headhunting her, and she hasn't even started yet,
Yeah,
So,
you know, and we should be
To them.
grateful that she's in a different township, because anybody living in this township has a bias, has an opinion. No matter what, that's part of being human. You have formed your ideas about people around you, whether they're founded or unfounded, that's just human nature. So the fact that she is out of it and can be more impartial than perhaps someone who has been here may be a good thing.
thank you, Mary.
so I wanna say something about what she just said. And I don't have a problem with her being out of town. I really don't have a problem with her. What I had a problem with is that she's a supervisor. She's my supervisor, actually, because I have property up there. So to me, that automatically looked like a conflict of interest because Green Township does things different than we do. Supervisors and township secretaries, they share the responsibilities of research and grants. So here, the administrator is gonna be doing those research and grants and all those extra things. And then she's gonna go to Green and be a supervisor. So that is where I was looking to clarify where the safeguards are being put in, which is what they're doing. So it wasn't that, like, I don't know if that was directed to what I read or what, but I mean, it was never intended to attack her. It was intended more for us to have safeguards and limitations and liability doesn't fall on us, so we don't get sued again.
We
or
appreciate
accused of
that.
something again.
Thank you. So agenda item F is consideration of ratification and confirmation of the May 27th, 2026 meeting. Apparently, somehow there was some confusion, so I am going to ratify and confirm. One, we're increasing the administrative assistant's wage to $22 an hour. I'm gonna make a motion to increase the administrative assistant wage to $22 an hour. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
I am also going to make a motion to hire Amanda Seagraves as Operation Administrator effective June 15th, 2026 at $29 an hour with a 60-day probation period, pay rate to increase to $30 an hour after successfully completion of a probation period of 60 days. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Chris,
What type of benefits are included with that wage?
what do you mean?
Medical, dental, eye, prescription?
Absolutely
vacation?
absolutely no healthcare benefits, but all of the vacation, and holiday time that's outlined in our handbook that we adopted in 2024. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Grant, one thing, that's no medical forever?
It's, you can't say no medical forever.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
It's part of our contract and notification. It's on a yearly basis on the
Shall
side.
be reviewed from year to year.
So it would
if
be
she
just,
needs medical next year, the rate lowers or what?
it's a board decision.
Okay, just asking because it's gotta be thrown out there so we know.
Understood. I appreciate the questions. So the next is a resolution. Policy resolution 062426-1 to amend and restate the right to know policy. Our right to know policy still listed Pam Guardsey as the right to know officer. So this updates it. I guess it should have came after the next two steps. So I am going to table this for about 2 minutes. I'm gonna make a motion to resign as the right to know officer. Do I have a second? Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Music to my ears. I am going to make a motion to appoint Amanda Seagraves as right to know officer.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So I'm going back to, G, the right to know policy resolution 062426-1. So this was a resolution and it had, a lot of our old information. One was Pam Guardsey as the township right to know officer. We updated it in anticipation of the vote of Amanda Seagraves as right to know officer. And since we just voted that, I would like to accept that resolution. So I make a motion to accept resolution 062426-1. Do I have a second? Second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
The website, finally, this has been a workshop item of mine forever. So we put the website out for bid and we obtained 4 bids back, and I did a little spreadsheet here for everybody, and I have the proposals in here, and these will be available for public viewing also. The first company is Sockham Web Solutions. The total build cost is $3,500. And the hard part is the original cost, or the one-time cost isn't the whole story. So there's hosting costs, there's hourly rate for changes, and we can in office make changes to all these websites. It doesn't mean we have to hire these professionals to update every time we have an agenda, we have a right to know change. We will be able to do this in-house with our employees. So the first is Sockham Web Solution at $3,500. The host and site ground is $35.88 for the first year and $215.88 annually after 1 year. And the hourly rate is $37.50 for changes after build is complete. Package 1 is $100 a month security site, audit, plugin updates, 1 hour labor per month for updates and agenda minutes, etc., which we plan on doing ourselves, but there might be an instance where we need them, so the rate's $100 a month if we go with that package. Package 2 is $50 a month. That's security site, audit, plugin updates. Completion time frame is 2 to 3 weeks. The next bid was Covington Creation. He gave me a range of 3,200 to 3,800 in his proposal. He didn't outline the hosting fee. I could reach out to him for that. Hourly rates is $95 an hour. Organizing, importing, archiving documents. Annual maintenance cost is also $100 a month. Plugging updates, security monitoring, and 2 hours technical annual support. And his build time is 6 to 8 weeks. The next is Quantified Media. It was $6,000 to build the site. And annual maintenance cost is $1,000 a year. That includes the hosting, security, technical support, and minor content assistance. The next is Triscari. That was $3,400 a month. And we would be hosting that on PSATs, which would be $2,500 annually. And they had a $0 annual maintenance cost and a 16-week build time. So
That was $250, not 2,500.
it was $250 for the hosting annually. Is that what you're talking about?
Right.
And a 16-week build time.
Right. But yeah. You said 2,500. I mean, you've been doing a lot of reading.
At this point, who knows what I'm gonna say, but anyway, I looked through all the bid packages and proposals. What do you guys think?
So for each of these, because I'm not techno, if we want to put on our minutes or we want to change or put an event on,
Yeah,
we can do that, or we have to
Yeah.
contact them?
no, all of these we could work on ourselves and they'll offer, technical assistance also.
Okay,
So, PSATs did recommend the Socom Web Solutions. That's where I got that from, and they're also the quickest, build time. Which, generally isn't the most important, but, I think it is important, and I do, like that PSATs, brought that recommendation to us.
yeah, because they might be cheap, but 16 weeks is
16 weeks was Triscari.
just hard, yeah.
And to be honest with you, I kind of. Again, it's $100, but they didn't even give us an annual maintenance cost, so I'm afraid that the fees might come in after that. And that bid just came in today.
Oh, okay.
And Socket Web Solution hourly rate is much lower.
Definitely, and I think that'll pay for itself. You guys?
So if we go with Socom, WIC package,
So I think we could do the $50 a month, site audit, plug-in updates. But I really think once we get our office trained, because Pam built our website and we're currently maintaining it in-house. I think it has a ton of deficiencies. So if we get an efficient website, the back end updates, I think are the small part. So I don't think we need the $100 a month.
And so how much input do we have on what the site looks like? Like, you don't like ours, I don't know much about websites.
We have,
Do they have to?
we have to approve it.
Prototype, and
Yes.
then we can
Correct.
tweak it.
And all of them offered that. They're
Okay.
not gonna just build it off of nothing. So they're gonna have a template. We're going to say, this is what we want on it. Obviously, they're not gonna pick our pictures of township and content and stuff like that or updates. So we have 100% input on all. Chris,
Which one's local, so we're not putting a bill for hotels for them to come here and dinner and everything else.
we would never foot a bill for a hotel, for a website company to come here to build us a website. Covington's creation is local to Barrett Township.
Okay, so that would be the multiplier effect for Barrett.
There's a couple different ways to look at that. Yes.
They give you websites to look at and see what.
Yes, yep, and I'll make this available, so Socom does Miller Township, Paradise, not our Paradise Township, I checked. They do Miller Township, Paradise Township, Pekia Township, Warwick Township, Conewago Township, New Oxford Borough, North York Borough, Oxford Township, Germany Township, Milford Township, Adams County Regional EMS. And then his entire portfolio is available on his website. So I can make copies of all these proposals and moving forward. But I personally think Socom Web Solutions with PSAT's recommendation and also their list of townships that they already build them for, so they're familiar with township websites. And also their fees are very, very in line with everybody else. So I would like to make a motion to hire Socom Web Solution to build our website. at the $3,500, the $35.88 for first year, $215.88 annually after 1 year, hourly rate of $37.50 with a package 2 and hopeful expectation of build week in 2 to 3 weeks with 100% township input, and that's after Todd's review of the contract. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
I'm just clarifying, that was 35, is that $358.80 or $3,588 a year that you're paying for the security, the hosting?
The hosting is $35.88 for the first year and $215.88 annually after the first year.
Correct, I was gonna say you're getting wrong, okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Sand mound repair. So although we got a lot of great entertainment by a Fox family that lived on the township property through the spring, they did a lot of damage to our sand mound. So they have burrows and dens and animal carcasses everywhere on our sand mound. DEP sand was excavated out by the foxes. So we did a cost estimate with doing it in-house with our employees, our excavators, our machine, and DEP sand, which we'll also put out for bid. I think the cost estimate will be $5,000. I would like to make a motion to repair our sand mound, do the DEP permit through our SEO. Make a motion. And repair our sand mound, so we don't have any malfunctions in the future. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
High Acres Park bathroom, the interior, I don't think has been painted since we originally did the bathrooms. So it was brought to my attention that not only does it look like a hospital, it's in dire need of some painting. So I also recommend that we do that with our maintenance staff. It will not be subcontracted out, and the material will be bought here locally at Steele's Hardware. Estimated cost of $1,000. I'd like to make a motion to paint the interior of the High Acres bathrooms. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Discussion? Peter,
That come from the park fund or from the general?
it'll come from the park fund. All in favor?
Aye.
So, the pilot agreement is an agreement between, the congregation OHR and the Monroe County Assessment Office. This was enacted in 2017 and it's reviewed every 5 years. It's coming up for review on August 5th. And what I would like to do is make a motion to allow Attorney Weitzman, the Board of Supervisors, Barrett staff, and contractors to prepare and attend the review. I don't believe we ever attended it the one time it was reviewed, and I think it's responsible for us to attend it and be prepared. Do I have a second? Second. Discussion?
Can I ask a
Peter?
question?
Yes.
I'm just wondering if every tax-free property within Barrett Township goes through a public, kind of like announcement like this, question, who's going to be present at the pilot agreement again? I just,
So-
there's like 10 shirts.
So the pilot agreement, the county assessment office made it aware that it's coming up for review and asked us if we would like to participate in it. So responsibly and transparently, I didn't want to just engage in it and not make everybody aware that it takes solicitor, township staff and contractors to prepare for it. So since every 5 years, as per the pilot agreement, it's automatically reviewed. We're just engaging in being a part of that review.
That's why.
Why wouldn't we?
I'm saying, are you a part of every single tax-free properties
We-
review?
It's the pilot program. it's not every tax-free. I don't know if every tax-free property has a review at the assessment office. So since the assessment office is having a review and it's a property in Barrett Township, I feel it's responsible for us to engage in it. Carla,
So not every tax-free property has a pilot program.
correct.
And this pilot program, they get to pay $25,000 in taxes on that huge property for life.
So I didn't want to go into the details of it. It's a public agreement, you know what I mean? It was enacted in 2017. We don't make the judgment on it. It can engage in the review. So it's not up to us to decide.
It's up to you at all.
Yep, thank you. Peter,
That was actually my question. So you're just there to hear it, but you can't participate or?
we can participate. So the township, the county and the school board can participate.
They can put facts forward or?
Correct. All in favor?
Aye.
Five Villages Live Memorandum of Understanding. This is the memorandum of understanding between the Pettis Family Foundation and Barrett Township. So there was a lot of questions about the event, and now that all the details are put together, this is the official document. So purposes, the memorandum of understanding set forth the terms under which Barrett Township will permit the Pettis Family Foundation to use the exterior of Barrett Area Recreation Center, known as BARC, to host the Five Villages Live, a 2-day outdoor music festival on Saturday, July 25th and Sunday, July 26th, 2026. The parties is the Pettis Family Foundation in Barrett Township. Event overview. The event names Five Villages. It's a 2-day outdoor live music festival. It's on the exterior of our grounds. Set up, the dates July 25th and Sunday the 26th. Performance hours are 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. each day, 6 hours per day, 12 hours in total. The use of the premises, the township grants the foundation a license to use the exterior of the grounds of the BARC for the dates and hours set forth in section 3, together with reasonable access for setup before performance hours and breakdown performance hours on each event day as further described in section 5. The township also grants the foundation a license to use the exterior grounds for the BARC for setup throughout the day on Friday, July 24th, 2026. The foundation use is limited to the exterior of BARC and does not include the interior of BARC or any other township property unless separately agreed in writing. Vehicle parking will take place throughout the remaining exterior areas of BARC, but ticket holders and patrons will be parking their own vehicles with the directional assistance from volunteers. Fees and access. The foundation shall pay $600 to Barrett Township, 12 hours at the $50 exterior per hour rate, unless otherwise reduced or waived by Barrett Township's Board of Supervisors. And I don't believe they're gonna ask for that waiver, so that's excluded. Set up and breakdown, the foundation is granted reasonable access to the exterior of BARC throughout July 24th, 26th for setup and after 10 p.m. on each event day for breakdown. Setup and breakdown windows shall be coordinated in advance with the township's designated contact under section 13 shall be conducted in a manner that does not interfere with or township activities. The foundation shall leave the exterior of BARC in substantially the same condition as it was found, no later than the end of the day on Monday, July 27th, 2026. Foundation responsibilities. The foundation at its sole cost and expense shall provide or arrange the following. General liability insurance covering the event with limits customary for outdoor music festivals and certifications and insurance naming Barrett Township as an additional insured. On-site security, personnel and event staff sufficient to manage crowd flow, access control, and general safety during the event. Portable restroom facilities, insufficient number for expected number of attendees. Trash and recycling receptacles, ongoing waste management, during the event and complete post cleanup of the exterior of bark in any directly affected areas. All artist fees, production, staging, sound, lighting, and related event costs. Alcohol, the foundation has advised the township that alcohol will be sold and served at the event by 2 licensed and exclusive alcohol vendors engaged by the foundation with respect to alcohol service. The foundation agrees that all alcohol service shall be conducted by vendors holding the appropriate Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board PLCB licenses and in compliance with all applicable laws and regulations. The foundations and its vendors shall implement reasonable age verification and responsible service practice throughout the event. Township responsibilities. Provide access to the exterior of bark on the dates during the access windows set forth in this MOU. Supervisors Grant Hilfiger and Bill Pepolo, who oversee the property and the offices, will serve as township points of contact to coordinate setup and breakdown and any operational questions before and during the event. Ensure that the exterior of bark is in its ordinary condition at the start of the foundation setup window. Insurance, indemnification, and independent contract status. In addition to the coverage described in 6 and 7, the foundation shall maintain customary commercial general liability coverage throughout the event. The foundation shall indemnify, defend, and hold harmless Barrett Township, its officials, employees, and agents from and against any third-party claims arising out of the foundation's use of the bark property of the festivals, except to extent caused by the township's own negligence or willful misconduct. The foundation operates the festival as an independent organizer and not as an agent or employee of Barrett Township. Term, MOU is in effect upon signature by both parties and shall remain in effect through August 30th, 2026. Modification, this MOU may be amended only by written agreement signed by authorized representatives of both parties. Notices and contacts, foundation primary contact will be inserted, township primary contact will be inserted. Entire understanding, the MOU constitutes the entire understanding of the parties with respect to the foundation's use. The exterior of bark for the 5 villages live on July 24th, 25th, and July 26th for cleanup supersedes all prior discussions and informal arrangements on the same subject matter. I make a motion to accept the MOU between the Pettis Family Foundation and Barrett Township. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I would like to motion to authorize Township Solicitor Weitzman to enter an appearance and defend Barrett Township in a civil action filed. Docket number 3567-CV-2026, pending lawsuit against the township, and to take all actions reasonably necessary to protect the township's interest in the matter. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Discussion?
I have a comment, please.
Sure. Could you just state your name?
Sure, I don't usually need a microphone. My name is Don Havlin. I'm an attorney with Havlin Hughes, Pennsylvania bar number 66615. I've been retained by one of the other defendants in this lawsuit. Mr. Counterman's got a pretty checkered past up here and apparently decided to sue the entire world. 3 of you, but not the other 2, but the township. He also sued the solicitor. And I'm not sure if you're aware of that. Which put the solicitor in a conflict situation. I'm only standing at this point to let you know that we intend to very aggressively defend this to get it dismissed. If there's 3 lawsuits, 5 lawsuits, 10, we're gonna get them consolidated and get expedited preliminary objections, a cease and desist, so we don't have to deal with this. This is a frivolous lawsuit, plain and simple. We're gonna send a Dragonetti letter, which gives the plaintiff 10 days to dismiss the case or face attorney's fees and costs, and they will be substantial, including the townships. So I'm only asking you consider the insurance notification first, Because Brown and Brown's gonna wanna weigh in on whether or not the solicitor can defend the township.
Correct.
That's the only reason I stood before you voted on it.
Yeah,
Because with Attorney Weitzman as a defendant, I'm sure, I don't think he's here tonight, I wanted
He's
to
not.
grab him. I'm sure he'd agree that he'd want that sorted out, because he may have to have his own malpractice carrier. And it's just, it's thorny because of what the plaintiff did, nothing but, well, what this body's doing or anything else. I just think you should sort that out before you engage. I don't even know if your complaint was served. They haven't served my client yet. We got a nasty notification by text, which raises a whole nother issue in terms of this man's parole and some other things, which is why I came tonight to make clear that I'm gonna defend some of the other defendants very aggressively. And I think the township should take it seriously enough to make sure that you have the counsel that can defend. And
right.
Mr. Weitzman's gonna have to weigh in on that on his own.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's what. So I understand his comments, but I still think we should authorize Solicitor Weitzman, to work on our behalf.
Should we do the notifying the insurance company first and then do the other?
I mean, we could do it in any which order. Yeah. I just wanted to vote, make the motion and bring it forward. If it changes and we have to do something different, we could vote on it at another meeting. If Todd, again, if Brown and Brown is gonna defend us, which I'm certain that they're probably going to. So I think I have a second. We discussed. All in favor? Aye. So I would also like to make a motion to notify the township insurance company Brown and Brown to acknowledge the civil action filed on docket 3567-CV 2026. Do I have a second? Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Correspondence, 137 Oak Lane inspection report follow-up. This is from the Monroe County Conservation District. So it looks like, the property is getting in compliance with their fill site on 137 Oak Lane. So this is an FYI. The next is Spruce Lake Retreat, notice of termination approval letter, the NPDES permit final, also an FYI. Next is Manhart Lane and Monroe County Conservation District compliance notice. Inspection orders. So this is a copy of the inspection report on Manhart Lane, so that's also an FYI. Barrett Township Shooting and Sports Center, NPDS permit application and stormwater discharge. So this is also just sent to us, saying that they submitted that. Next, we have certificates of insurance for Classic Enterprise LLC, Seifert Contracting LLC, Frank Crum One, doing business as Team Sunshine Contracting LLC. B is all the events in Barrett Township. I think one is a county event. And one is at the high school, but it's the Pocono Mountain Music Fest. So June 26th, Stella Cole, it's Magical Live, Pocono Mountain Junior High School at 7:30. June 27th, Relay for Life at Bark, 11 to 6. June 28th, Steamtown Excursion at Cresco Station Museum, 12 to 4. June 30th, concert in the park here at Bark, 4:30 to 8:30. That's held by our Rotary Club. July 4th, America 250 Celebration Parade in Stroudsburg at 10 a.m. July 11th, SOS Pet Rescue Vaccination Event here at Bark, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. July 12th, Patriot Recognition Day. Historical Society. I don't know if you guys.
That's here at Bark too.
Also here at Bark. Yeah. Man, I've read a lot. Bedco Community Cleanup Days, which is also, there's sign up days at betterbarrett.org community, that's July 13th. July 17th, Cabaret Night, Bark, 7:30 p.m., Pocono Mountain Music Fest. July 18th, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, here at Bark at 11 a.m., that's also Pocono Mountain Music Fest. July 19th, Tea and Symphony, Skytop Lodge, 4 p.m., Pocono Music Fest. July 24th, The Room Where It Happens here at Bark at 6 p.m., Pocono Mountain Music Fest. July 25th and 26th, Five Villages Live, 4 to 10 p.m., both nights, 2-day event. August 7th, Mad Dog Englishman here at Bark, that's also Pocono Mountain Music Fest at 7:30 p.m. August 8th and August 9th is a State and Treasure Sale here at Bark for the FCC. The 8th is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The 9th is 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The idea of putting these events on our agenda is to encourage participation. These are all great things that are going on in your community, and everybody's welcome to them, and we'd love to see everybody there. Public comment. Matt.
I will keep it very quick. I just want to say the July 13th cleanup day is fully booked. I will get the board, all the information so that you can give it to your crew.
Awesome.
Quickly on the concert, thank you for putting this on here. We have a great, lineup of vendors, a lot in Barrett, some from outside. Great artists. We're really excited about that. The website is fivevillageslive.com. And I believe we're also going to be offering half price tickets to Barrett residents up until the concert and even day of if people want to come on the day. So that's something that we've discussed and I believe will be approved. There's been a lot of questions about that and concerns about the weather and everything. People are waiting for the weather. So we want to, increase that opportunity for Barrett residents. So I just wanted to say that as well. And the commercial property improvement program that I think I told you guys about at the last meeting, we have some great prospective projects going on. All Barrett Township businesses. We're helping one business with a new sign, one business with new steps, one business with windows. These haven't been approved yet, but these are prospective projects. Also one with landscaping. So there's a lot of different things that we are looking at. This will be little or no cost to these businesses. It's grant money provided by Bedco. It's not a loan. So we will be excited to announce those when they are approved, hopefully at your next meeting or 2 meetings from now. So that's my update. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? I would like to make a motion to go into executive session for litigation, Counterman versus Barrett Township and personnel. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Okay.
Was that his advice?
Right now.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. I think it's what?
That was not a team.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll go.
Thanks, you. Night, lady. Oh, you don't go, you don't go. Oh, I was down,
Receive and every year, you have to start on every year, whatever he said. Whatever he said. Oh, yeah. Also the one for that. Okay, but yeah. Yeah. And, it's like. She's like reading how to talk. And then the whole thing comes down like, yeah, I know, but they had talked, they didn't mean it's completely different culture and that's like, yeah, I was making up, that's what I, there's a frequency. Like, that's what I have to go out with my countries. So I said, yes, and that's what I'm here to do. But I'll see you soon, all right? Yeah, you make it ready right now. But no, I'll make it, because I hear tomorrow. Yeah, I know, they want to go tomorrow. Yeah, you have 1:30 to 3. You know, it's running down. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I was not in my. I was 1:30 to 3. Yes. Okay, I wanna see when they're done. Oh, I will, she has these, you know what, she has these spell books, too. She has these little, yeah, oh, she's not too little, she has these spell books, and these little ones, but I think not. Whatever. Fine, as I see things like that, I'll pick it up. I'll go. Oh, I see that. That's. Yeah. Alrighty, we'll take it. Yeah. That's hysterical. No, you're not. I'm checking. I am not. I get it. Again. Where's the stuff ahead?
Right, wasn't Tom. Very good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he does. You're, yes. Oh, so that's wrong. That's what. Now that, my gosh. And
Yeah. Out here. No.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
This is not all. Make it 3 hours.
Good. That's good. The base tonight.
Yeah, I think you Brad, like, if you go out to meet Brad, I was like, oh. I see that. We're done. Stop. Oh, I would. Acts. It's very difficult to see. That's what's being done. Nice.
Well, I want to say different, right? Yeah.
So that. It's not more.
Yes. No, no. You're not. See that? It's Last round. That's fine. Or never again.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right, just left it there. All right.
Gonna make a motion to reconvene the meeting at 8:38.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Gonna make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:38.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, everybody. I got my